Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be counting down some characters that I would still love to see in Marvel's Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 5. However, I also want to know what characters you want to see in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Do you want to see more Miles Morales characters? Do you guys want to see more villains, more heroes, maybe even Daredevil? He's not on this list, but maybe I should have included him. But I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments. Let me know. I love talking to you guys and just picking your brains on what we could possibly get in this new game. Let me know in the comments. I can confirm that I'm going to be getting a PlayStation 5 before this game comes out, so I'll be able to play it on the channel with you guys, and that is all because of you guys. So I also want to give a massive thank you to all of the people who have subscribed to the channel and really supported everything that I'm doing on this channel. I really appreciate it, and you guys are the reason that I can play games like this for you on the channel and talk about these topics, and it just makes me really happy to have a really good community like you guys. So thank you for all of that. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So it's pretty clear from the trailers and a couple of other teases that Harry Osborn is going to be our Venom in the game. However, what about his father? Are we going to see a Green Goblin in Marvel Spider-Man 2? Well, personally, I do think so. I think we could see a Norman Osborn Green Goblin in Spider-Man 2's final act. I think it would be really, really cool as well, not only story-wise, but gameplay-wise as well. For the gameplay, I think it would be really cool if it was hard to fight him because of the way that he flies around. This is something that I had a problem with Vulture. He didn't really fly around enough in my opinion, but I think Green Goblin could be really annoying because he could go past the city buildings and he could really just get out of your line of vision, and maybe you would have to switch to Miles Spider-Man to combat this problem. But I also think it would be really cool if he was also like attacking the city and attacking civilians with the pumpkin bombs. I think that would be really cool. That way you kind of have to decide and juggle whether or not to save people or stop Green Goblin, and kind of have to juggle both like Spider-Man has to do in the comic books. This would also be a fantastic way to introduce Green Goblin into the story. I mean, Green Goblin is an awesome character, and it can be very, very personal for Peter for the story, especially in a story that also involves his son Harry. I think that that would work really, really well in this story, and I think it's a very natural progression of the Spider-Man timeline that Insomniac has built. So I would still really love to see Green Goblin in Spider-Man 2. Ever since Insomniac announced that Venom was going to be one of the main antagonists of Spider-Man 2, a lot of people online were also wondering what other symbiotes we could possibly see in the game. Personally, I think it would be really cool if we got to see Carnage out of any of them, because I think Carnage would really fit for a final act for this game or leading into Spider-Man 3, because what I would love to see at the end of this Spider-Man trilogy is similar to what Batman Arkham Knight did with Scarecrow. I mean, Batman Arkham Knight is a much more personal and dark story compared to City and Asylum and Origins as well. And you really got that with the character of Scarecrow and the element of fear in the game, and they made it a very personal story with major character deaths and a lot of just very personal story elements revolving around that character. And I think that they could do that really well with Spider-Man 3 and specifically Carnage. I think it'd be really cool if during the story of Spider-Man 2 we got to see Venom symbiote split off and turn into Carnage, and then we got to see Cletus Cassidy possibly escape prison, and we get like this teaser, whether or not it's in the main story or if it's maybe even an after credit. I think that that would be really cool to see in Spider-Man 2, knowing that this serial killer turned supervillain is going to be rampaging New York City, and we're gonna have to stop him in the next game. I think it would be really cool if possibly he kills one of the major characters, like maybe Harry survives in Spider-Man 2 and then Cletus Cassidy kills him off in the next game, and just all of that deep, horrific personality from Carnage can really be shown in a third Spider-Man game. And I think that that would be really, really cool if they wanted to, you know, keep the symbiote style antagonist, because you know you don't want to make another game and then the players feel like you're taking away from the experience, and I don't want players to feel like we're taking away from the Venom experience when we make a third game. So I think it'd be really cool if they added Carnage. That way they could also work on what they, you know, got feedback on when playing with Venom in Spider-Man 2. So if the players didn't like how Venom moved, well, maybe they can change that in Spider-Man 3 with Carnage, stuff like that. As for gameplay, I mean, Carnage has a wide variety of moves that he can use. He can turn his symbiote into weaponry, and there's just so many opportunities for that, and I think that would work really, really well. I think it would be really cool if maybe Carnage made a symbiote army of like these like symbiote creatures that were like roaming the city and stuff that you would also have to stop while fighting Carnage. I think that would be really, really cool, but either way, Carnage, would love to see him in Spider-Man 2 and more specifically Spider-Man 3 as well. Now, Peter is not the only Spider-Man we see in Spider-Man 2. We're also going to be able to play as Miles Morales, and that's super, super cool. But one thing I don't like about Miles' character is that he doesn't have a lot of supervillains that are specifically tailored towards him. And one thing that I really think helped out with this is the addition of the Spot in the Spider-Verse movies. They really made Spot go from this goofy character that a lot of people didn't even know why he was the main antagonist of that movie, and turned him into what a lot of people would feel like is Miles's main like his arch nemesis in the Spider-Verse series. And I think that they could do something very similar to that in Spider-Man 2, and I think seeing the Spot would be really, really cool, since a lot of people have come to love this character that was so goofy. And I think if they really worked on the character of the Spot, they could really do some really cool gameplay mechanics as well, where if you shoot a web at the Spot, it's gonna miss even though you're hitting him directly, and you maybe have to find other ways, like using environmentals and, you know, teaming up with Peter, so that way it's Peter and Miles versus the Spot. Maybe he can take on one Spider-Man, but can he take on two of them? That's a little bit harder. So it'd be really cool to see Miles get a very clear definition of not just, you know, this universe or Spider-Verse universe, but maybe in like all of Spider-Man media, now confirming that the Spot is a Miles Morales villain, and it's transferred from Peter to Miles, and it's much more personal for that character. I think that would be really cool, not just for, you know, the Spider-Man universe, but also just like the whole universe of everything with Miles. I think it'd just be really cool for the character to finally get some more villains that are tailored towards him specifically, and I think that they could really do that very well in Spider-Man 2. The last character that I would really love to see in Spider-Man 2 is Gwen Stacy. I think it would be really cool if they did it a couple of different ways. They could make this, you know, one of the many times that Spider-Man is trying to decide between Gwen or MJ as his true love, or like a lot of media is doing now, making Miles and Gwen more of a relationship. There's a couple of different ways that they could do it. I think it'd be really cool if it was actually Miles and Gwen, and then Miles has to go through that horrific experience of losing Gwen Stacy during the clock tower fight. I think that would be really, really cool, and maybe he loses Gwen Stacy to the Spot specifically, solidifying this as his arch nemesis. I think that would be a really cool story beat, but either way, I would love to see Gwen Stacy in the Insomniac universe. They do the character so much justice in these games, and I think it would be really cool to see a Gwen Stacy that isn't Spider-Gwen, you know what I mean? Just getting a normal Gwen Stacy who's just smart and the likable character. I think we haven't seen that in a while, and I think it would be really refreshing for the game and the story. And these are just, you know, my picks of the different characters that have not been announced yet, but characters that I would still love to see in Spider-Man 2. But I want to know what you guys want to see in Spider-Man 2. Do you guys want to see other characters like Sandman? Do you guys want to see some of the other, you know, heroes that could possibly pop up? I want to know what you guys are thinking. Let me know down below in the comments. If you guys like this video, make sure to drop a like down below. It really, really helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe, because I'm going to be covering a lot of Spider-Man 2 news that is going to be coming out very soon. Their marketing has been very tight, but I have a feeling that they're going to be releasing a lot of stuff very soon. The game comes out in October, and I cannot wait to play it on the channel. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to subscribe. Other than that, have fun, be respectful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.